All right, so this problem is asking us to compute the surface area of x squared plus y squared equals 4, which you might notice since it doesn't have a third variable, this will be a cylinder. And we want to compute the surface area of this cylinder between z equals 0 and z equals 16 minus 2x. So we haven't explicitly talked about surface area by itself, and we're going to do that through this example, but the shape that we have is something like this, right? We have this base of the cylinder is on the xy plane, whose equation z equals 0, and z equals 16 minus 2x is some kind of plane that intersects the cylinder and then creates this kind of top to the cylinder when it intersects it. So this is the shape that we're dealing with, and we just want to find the surface area of this solid. And so recall from our previous video, we talked about a surface, scalar surface integral. And we defined it as follows. We said, all right, we can find the scalar surface integral becomes a double integral over our surface. We express it as f of x, y, z, ds, where this represents this surface area element. And if we just want surface area of the object that we're dealing with, then for surface area, we can just let f of x, y, z equal 1. So that's what we'll do. For surface area alone, we will let f of x, y, z equal to 1. And that will just basically add up all of those tiny little patches on our surface as they get arbitrarily small, and we have the surface area of our 2D surface in R3. And so I'm going to write this for surface area alone. We're going to do our double integral. Once we've parametrized our surface, we will integrate over the parametric rectangle, and recall that ds is the magnitude of the partial with respect to one of the parameters crossed with the partial with respect to the other parameter, and then we'll have a du dv. So this is what we're calling our surface area element, and we express it as ds. Okay, so let's get back to our cylinder. And you might notice, well, we're going to need a parametrization, because in order to get our surface area, we need to calculate the partial of r with respect to u and the partial of r with respect to v. So we're going to need a parametrization of our cylinder. We don't know what this is. Okay, so let's think about this. And I may or may not use u and v. I don't typically like to do that, even though our textbook does. Since our cylinder, well, it's a cylinder, right? So we should think about using cylindrical coordinates, but we only want 2 parameters instead of the 3 variables of cylindrical coordinates. So how are we going to do this? Well, we already have an idea of the bounds for z. So we have the bounds for one of our parameters, because z has to be between the xy plane and the plane 16 minus 2x. So let's for sure use z as one of our parameters. And let's use theta, because we're going to need theta to wrap around the circle, right? So if we use those 2 parameters, let's think about how we might do that. And I'm not going to use u and v. I'm going to use z and theta, because I like using the variables that correspond to my parameters more directly. So if we use that, that means I want some function, vector function, that depends on theta and z that can describe the cylinder. All right, let's look back at our cylinder. We wanted to find the surface area of x squared plus y squared equals 4. Well, x squared plus y squared equals 4 is a cylinder with a fixed radius. So that's great. Our fixed radius is 2. So now we know that the x component of our parametrization should be 2 cosine theta. our y component should be 2 sine theta, right? This is cylindrical coordinates. Z is going to vary. That's just going to be z. And we know the over which we know the interval the parameter interval for theta and z. Let's go ahead and write our parametrization. So r of theta z will be first component 2 cosine theta, second component is 2 sine theta, third component is z. We will let theta go from 0 to 2 pi, and let's let z go from 0, the xy plane, to 16 minus 2x, but x is 2 cosine theta. So this is going to be 16 minus 4 cosine theta. And we have our parametrization. Why did we need that? Well, that's so we can find that ds, which is going to be the magnitude of the partial of our parametrization with respect, this time with respect to theta, crossed with partial with respect to z. We need that, and of course we're going to need a d theta, dz, whatever order makes most sense. So let's go ahead and find these partials, and then find our area element, and then set up our double integral. Okay, so partial of r with respect to theta is going to give us the vector negative 2 sine theta. I'm taking the derivative with respect to theta of our vector function right here. 2 cosine theta and 0. Partial of z with respect to theta is 0. Okay. Partial of our vector function with respect to z, well, we'll have a 0, 0, 1, because the x and y are solely defined with respect to theta. Okay. Let's find the cross product. So cross product of these two partials will be, well, you might already see what that is, but let's go ahead and do it out. We have a negative 2 sine theta, 2 cosine theta, and 0, and then 0, 0, 1. And that's going to give us, for the first component, we'll get a 2 cosine theta minus 0. Then minus our second component, we're going to have a negative 2 sine theta. And we have no k component. That will just be 0. And I don't really need the vector itself, this normal vector, but we do need the magnitude. So let's go ahead and find the magnitude of this cross product. And that's going to be the square root. I could have factored a 2, but it doesn't really matter, of 4 cosine squared theta plus 4 sine squared theta. I'm taking the components here and squaring them. And this is just going to be the square root of 4 times, well, we have a cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta, which we know is equal to 1. And so this will just be 2. Great. So let's go ahead and set up our surface area integral. So surface area will be, I like to use theta on the outside. It doesn't really, well, it does matter here actually, because z is between 0 and a function of theta. So we need theta on the outside from 0 to 2 pi. Z will be from 0 to the top plane. And we're just integrating 2. I'm going to need the dz d theta. Okay? So quick note. We don't need r dr d theta here because we are actually finding the surface area, and we're using a different area element that gives us the little patch that we talked about in the previous video that we approximate with a parallelogram. So we don't need to, if we put r dr d theta here, we would be adding another area element. So we're going to leave it at that. And if we go ahead and calculate this, I'm going to pull the 2 out. We have from 0 to 2 pi, this is just going to be 16 minus 4 cosine theta d theta. And so that's going to give us, if we integrate with respect to theta, we have a 2 times 16 theta minus 4 sine theta from 0 to 2 pi. So when we put in 2 pi, we have a 2 times 16 times 2 pi. Sine of 2 pi is 0, and when we put in 0, we get 0 for both. So this is going to give us 16 times 4 is 64 pi. So this is in some units squared. We have found the surface area of the cylinder bounded by the xy plane and the slanted plane, 16 minus 4 cosine theta.